Now we're gonna move on to shooting grids. What the heck are grids, Derek?
This thing, look at this thing.
My God, it's making my eyes going crazy. Ooh, whoa, when you move into it, the whole thing bubbles out. This is the cool thing. With VFX going to a whole other level, with AI and LED walls and all this stuff, you need to map the lenses because the VFX team needs to know exactly how they're going to distort, how they're going to bend in many ways, and an anamorphic lens changes its distortion as it pulls focus. So this is absolutely crucial. And I just got off of a movie that had a ton of VFX work, and we spent over a week shooting grids because we were pulling focus so tight to people in the foreground and then throwing deep that they needed to record all of those different measurements on the grids so the VFX team could get the distortion perfectly. Now we've moved to smart glass as well. So there's a lot of lenses now that are having the smart lens attachment. So it records all the metadata that's coming from the lens. It records your distance, your focus, your f-stop, as well as how quickly you pan or tilt. So it has accelerators and deaccelerators in there that are able to actually track the speed. So I think that is the next level where we're going to transition into, but I'm going to have Derek take you through this whole gridding process because this is absolutely essential. Every feature film, every commercial that I do, every music video that I do, the VFX integration is huge. And without these grids, they are literally in the middle of nowhere. They don't know where to start, and then they're going to start to make calculations based on what they think is right, which is always a guessing game and never really in the pocket. All right, Derek, take us through this.
Fun thing about grids, so the DP gets the fun part with shooting grids because we get to film it, and then he just goes back and he watches all these videos and goes, oh, this looks cool, this is cool. If he even sees the distortion grid, just something that we do at the preps. Number one, when you get to your prep, and even before, I always tell Shane or whoever the DP is, make sure they have a distortion grid because they come in with, look at this thing. They come in with these things, and I'm gonna spin it around so you can see the shape. Look at that. That's not gonna work. That's garbage. They should just put this in the trash now or cut it down, do something with it, put it on your wall or something. What? Can't work with that. So I have the Filmmakers Academy kids come in, put a nice one up on the wall. It's pretty flat. It has to be flat because if you're shooting a distortion grid and it's curved, that's not gonna help special effects. They have to have something flat. So I had them tape it to the wall. One of the kids actually put tape on the other side so it's not bowing out anywhere and it's nice and flat. So when Brad puts all his lenses and gets flat to the grid, it makes a perfect mapping chart for him no matter what he does. And then he'll go through different phases mapping. He'll start as close as possible and he'll go all the way back. He'll fill the frame and then he'll get all the way back. So at every distance, they can tell what's going on in post because at post is when they're gonna really need all this information. Whenever you see any special effects, they're doing this stuff. This is probably the most tedious part of our prep because this is where we have to get all the information. Now some cameras give you all the information. Before we had to write it out on a slate, tell you exactly what you were looking at, what lens you were looking at, what distance, all the little details. So now we have our camera set up. Brad's gonna go through every lens again. So not only did he go through the lens the first time, putting every lens in his handset, making sure every lens was coming up at the proper focus, now he's gonna go through every lens one more time for the distortion grid because post has to have every lens. You can't jump any lenses. So at this point, we're gonna watch Brad. Brad, do your thing, man. Don't let me be in your way. As we see Brad sliding in, the prime part of doing his lens grid is what he's doing is he's gonna take every lens and he's gonna fill the frame with the lens grid as much as he can take in with every lens. From that point, he's gonna find the focus, make sure it's tack sharp, and we know our lenses are tack sharp because we tested them on the other side over there. And then from there, he's gonna go all the way to infinity, all the way to close, back to sharp. And he's gonna do it twice so they see it. So in post, they're gonna see the lenses breathe. If it's an anamorphic lens, it's gonna breathe. These lenses don't breathe as much, but they're gonna see the distortion all the way through. So from when it's out of focus to sharp to out of focus. So from infinity to close focus. So it becomes a little bit more tedious, and I wish we had a Tango right now because that would definitely make his life a little bit easier. But this is the game that we play. But once it's tack sharp and we know he's at the right level, he'll just be able to change lenses and just make sure the lens covers the grid to get the information. So this is the basic process right now. He's looking good. You can kind of see the distortion chart here of what he's looking at, and I'm sure you can see the monitor. This is when you appreciate when the camera houses mount their charts, because that means they mount their charts straight. It's really easy to get the camera in on a straight system, but when we have to do this, just a little bit of a game we have to play.
And here is the Wixie. So this is the great kind of thing that we're able to show with this digital angle. So I'm able to put this up here, and we're getting it right at very close to, you know, level, and the same sideways. So this gives us the ability to be exactly where we need to be, and we're getting that as close as possible with, so we're not tilting up, we're going right on this X in the center, and then we can, once we have that, we're ready to really start shooting our grids.
Spend your $20, $25 and get a real tool. Everybody's gotten real lazy and using iPhones and whatever. Yeah, iPhone's the lazy one. Google's okay, but iPhones are the lazy one. Spend the $20. Get a real tool so you can throw it in your kit. It becomes part of you. Film days, we used an inclinometer, but get a real tool so you can do this, so you can be precise. And Brad now is, what he's doing is he's gonna label a slate, and he's gonna bring the slate in front of the lens. He's gonna throw it up there. They're gonna go through their whole action. So post is gonna know what lens is on there. They're gonna know what distance. If he was doing this in the daytime, if he had filters, whatever's going on in the magic of shooting this distortion chart, they will have this information. So what you're seeing in his monitor right now, you're seeing him rack in and out of focus. So you get to see him play. He's spinning his knob all the way through. And as you see, the whole image went to mush. And then he will land back on sharps. And then,
so then we're gonna go.
That's it.
Go to the 21.
So now he's gonna do this with every lens. Each lens, what he's gonna end up having to do is he's gonna have to back up and hopefully fill the whole frame with that lens. So new lens is coming up, 21 mil. Look at that action. That action was seamless. The pass off was seamless. That was a pretty good pass off. You must be practicing. Are you gonna go back to your 18, or was that the 18? Working down to the 18, I love this. So this is the continuous routine of what they do at a prep, covering all the steps. You might not have to do this at every prep. If you're not doing special effects, might not have to do this. If you're just on stage and you're just watching someone dance, depends on the job. Every job is different. Up to this point, you've seen a full prep. You've seen us dial in our lenses. You've seen us build the camera. You've seen us make sure our cables look beautiful. Look at the final build of his camera. Everything looks great. He's on sticks, his battery power, everything is managed. At this point, Brad knows that he has a working camera. He can go off to set and shoot, whether post has this information or not. At that point, it's not gonna be on his back and it's not gonna be his problem, so to say, but I guarantee the job is gonna be in focus, and that's the one thing all first AZs are paying attention to, if the job is in focus. This is to help, and we do this as much as possible to help. We are on the clock, so if you're going into OT, talk to production. Don't go into OT doing this kind of stuff and they don't want to pay for it. So next lens, he's switching off lenses again. He has his 18 mil up, and once he goes through this series of lenses, we saw all the lenses that he was taping out earlier. He's gonna go through each one of those and give production the information. He has the second back there. Let's go ahead and look back to a second. Has a second back here labeling the lenses. So the second he passes off a new lens, he calls out 18 mil. DIT hears him. The DIT puts in the lens information. Second AC fills out our slate. Our slate is being thrown up as we see right now. Got all our information, what camera, how many Ks he's shooting, what lens, the stop. He's gonna go through the same motion that you just saw. Out of focus, in focus with every lens.